Well, around these parts, we're now to the state championship games in the state of Indiana, and a Notre Dame commit will look to go back-to-back in Class 2A. Not a shock. It's an all-parochial 2A championship. That's what seems to happen in the Hoosier State somehow, some way. But Drayk Bowen and Andrayan going to play for another state title. And man, oh man, Mike, he had a massive football game for Andrayan last Friday night.
Yeah, and their team this Friday, I think it's Friday morning, at the Lucas Oil Stadium is Evansville Mater Dei. It's the same team that they beat last year to win the state title, Indiana 2A ball. So Drayk Bowen last week, 12 tackles, 6 of those for loss, 2 sacks. Just right there. That's good. It's pretty good for a linebacker, right? Played running back, had 34 attempts, 358 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Also, Darren, might I add, I'm told, I want to, I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure it was an ear infection. It was like Michael Jordan's flu game. And this is the best part for me. This is the best part for me, Darren. This is why I love Drayk Bowen so much, okay? Pretty cold in Indiana last Friday and Saturday, right? Just played the game of his life. Probably, I mean, he also punts for his team. So the guy literally is not coming off the field. It's freezing. He's under the weather, right? Notre Dame plays 2:30 on Saturday. Guess what Drayk Bowen is doing? He has gone, at that point, folks, to every single Notre Dame home game. Every single one. If he wanted to miss a home game, it would have been very understandable. He wakes up the next morning, and he gets his butt over to South Bend, Indiana, for the main purpose so he can hang out with Kenny Minchie.
Wow.
Come on. Drayk Bowen, rank him a 5-star. I just based on these things alone, Drayk Bowen will go down as my favorite recruiter, right, of these commits. He's recruiting all these guys. He's outstanding. He is he's a special human being.
And for people listening to this that are outside of Indiana, you hear 2A. Well, let me say this. Andrayan plays a very competitive schedule.
Yes.
When Jack Kaiser won Mr. Football as a 1A football player, he didn't play necessarily that competition, but Andrayan plays all the big boys in the northwest portion of Indiana. So there's no fluky numbers. Go ahead.
They're 10-3 this season. Those 3 losses, that's classes up there.
Yeah.
I think they're going to roll on Friday. If they play just a 2A schedule, I think they'd be undefeated.
He would play 2 quarters a game, probably. All right, finally, I want to hear about this because as a big baseball fan, tell me about Ryan Mooney, because it sounds like he could have been a Notre Dame baseball player, but he picked up the game of football just recently, and now he's kind of a late bloomer?
Yeah, I wrote about this young man at Blue and Gold, and I know that's why Darren's asking me about it. It was a free article, so if you just you just Google Ryan Mooney, find his On3 page, and you can see the article. And it was a really good one because I wrote in the opening line of this article, he's the definition of a late bloomer because he didn't start playing football until this year. Got really good at it. He actually picked up an offer before he had played it out. I think it was Miami of Ohio. He just started going to some camps and stuff. Already picked up a scholarship offer. And I think he just really started to love the game of football and decided, hey, I want to follow this route. And he's picked up around 15 scholarship offers, including one from Iowa. He was clocked running a 4.28 40. Obviously, that's 6'4", 170, this young man. I can't imagine he actually ran a 4.28. But let's just say it was like a 4.5. Like he really runs 4.5? Or even a 4.6, 4.5, 4.6. He's 6'4", 170. If Notre Dame, okay, so let's kind of talk about his recruitment. Notre Dame baseball commit, pledged a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, decommits after this football, and he just fell in love with the game of football and wants to play it in college. he didn't, when I talked to him, he didn't shut down the possibility of 2 sports at the next level, but he seemed pretty set on just football.
Wow.
And Darren, he is, he's got I mean, Boston College has offered him. So he has all these offers, but then he loves Notre Dame. His On 3 page that I pulled up here says Michigan's an offer, but I'm pretty sure it's a PWO. But those 2 schools, Michigan and Notre Dame, he's still considering just going as a PWO there because he loves Notre Dame. Obviously, he's the school he committed to for baseball, and now he has that option for football. He can't go wrong here. So wherever he ends up, it's going to be interesting fall. Again, folks, first year playing football, Ryan Mooney.
So he went to a camp before he ever played a high school football game.
If I'm reading, if I'm reading in between the lines correctly, yeah, this is his first year playing football, and I went through his Twitter, and he announced an offer in like June of this year. So maybe he did spring ball, but otherwise, yeah,
Wow.
That's it.
Amazing. Well, of course, I know you have all the information on Kenny Minchie at blueandgold.com. What else is happening right now on the website?
Oh man, it's with Thanksgiving, it's trying to start working ahead, but otherwise, still a ton of good content on the website previewing Notre Dame USC. Patrick, Todd, and Tyler do a fantastic job of that, and then just continue to churn out some good recruiting content throughout the week. Going to look at who's enrolling early. I know that's always a big topic, and I've been asked about that a good bit here in the past week. So I'm going to write an article on that. And then Tuesday night, Lucky Charms covering what's next for Notre Dame in the 2023 class after this big commitment. So just keep tabs on blueandgold.com, and you can if you sign up right now, our current deal is $10 gets you access through the start of next football season, August 31st, 2023. So would definitely appreciate it if folks sign up for the website. If you like all the stuff, between my hits on Darren's radio show or our Blue and Gold YouTube page, if you enjoy all this, would definitely recommend you go to blueandgold.com for a lot more coverage.
Have a good holiday. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks, Darren.